Welcome to Success Through Meditation. I'm Shakti, coming to you from a lineage of enlightenment to help you to see, honor, and love the light within yourself so that you can see, honor, and love the light within others. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is so wonderful to be here with you. After a bit of a time off, death is such an interesting thing, such an interesting and such a beautiful thing. Can be, of course, can be a very, very beautiful thing. Sadness aside, because of course there's sadness. We are humans and we experience, that's part of the ride, isn't it? It's part of the ride of having a good time, of having a wonderful time here with life, So death comes to all of us. No one escapes. We're all going to experience it. We're all going to feel the effects of it. We're all going to know what it feels like to lose someone at some point. And this is an experience that I recently went through. So I needed to spend time helping with my brother as he was passing from this world into the next, on to the next adventure. And so during that time, I put all of my energy into his passing so that it could be as glorious and beautiful as it ended up being. You know, to see someone pass with a smile on their face, not only in their lips, but in their eyes, is such a comforting, peaceful thing to witness. And to witness the love that he brought together with his passing is a beautiful, beautiful legacy that we can all know and understand. Have you ever been with someone who was about to walk through that door? What you find, or what you might find, or what you can find, or what is available to you is love. And we're going to be talking about strength, humility as it relates to love. But that is all that there is. In the end, you hear me saying this constantly, that in the end, there is only love. Everything that happened before is irrelevant in these moments when someone is getting ready, preparing themselves to walk through the door. And in these moments, all of the silliness, the things that were so important in life, that mattered, poof, disappear, completely and totally gone. Instead, what is left in the place of these silly things that happened is love. Love. Because in the end, that is all there is. In the end, love is all there is. And so it inspires the question. So what is all this silliness that we go through in life? Why do these things matter? These things that cause anger, strife, anxiety, for our personalities to rise up and be angry at one another. Why do we go through this? Well, lots of reasons. To learn about strength, humility, love, humility. To learn about these things so that we can see that in the end, humility takes over with love. Humility and love being equal. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And what a wonderful legacy that things that mattered in life simply disappear in the end and are replaced with love and only love. All of this to say, it's why we haven't been here for a few weeks, and but the learning and the journey remain, right? We're here living life in the most beautiful way that we possibly can. That is the point. That's why we came back. Remember? To have a good time, to enjoy life, to feel all of its intricacies, to know all of these reasons why we come back to love, why we come back to being humble, back to humility, while still acquiring strength in our lives. So what is humility? We all, of course, we know what strength is. That's pretty simple. But humility, what is humility? My teacher said that humility is the conscious awareness and acceptance of eternity as your own body. As your own body. I'm going to repeat that. Humility is the conscious awareness and acceptance of eternity as your own body. Humility is the courageous acceptance of your own perfection. Imperfectly perfect. Perfection incarnate. Humility is the ability to perceive light through the darkness, to be able to see the light that exists and encompasses all of existence, even through the darkness. And of course, the darkness exists. It's there. You can't really have light without darkness, can you? So it is the ability to see the light even through the darkness. Humility means taking chances with life, with death, and what lies beyond. Humility in the I Ching is stated as follows: a mountain within the earth. It is the hexagram of modesty and humility. The mountain exists within the earth where strength and power are. Humility has strength and power. And it is so important, the most important quality on the spiritual path. Because without humility, spiritual growth stops. Without humility, the ego rules. Without humility, all of the other spiritual attributes are in vain. But the most important thing is that growth stops. Spiritual growth stops. So, of course, the absence of humility is ego. It's like an eclipse. The ego eclipses humility. With no humility, the light of knowledge, power, and truth is eclipsed by the ego. So it's important to be aware of that, isn't it? It's important to be aware of the ego. Humility is happiness. It's a warm puppy. Humility is happiness. And the ego and being egotistical is misery. Separativity, self-importance. This is what the ego produces. It makes you think that you are separate from all of existence. It makes you believe that you are an individual. And yes, there are. That is a subject for another time. But in this moment, what we are seeing is that being connected to all of existence matters. Knowing that you are connected to all of existence can make a difference. Because humility is happiness and it is not separativity. Ego is separativity. Humility means freedom because it allows you to grow. It allows you to become more of the being that you are meant to be, to not be stagnant. Humility sheds light on your true path. When you're humble, you're able to see the next step in front of you. When you think you know everything, then clarity is lost. When you think that you are so wonderful and great and outstanding because the ego is doing its very best to make you think that, or the opposite, that you are nothing, that you are worthless, that you don't matter, any of those, when the ego is in control, things are not clear. And humility sheds light on your true path. You have a role to play. This is an important part of being you. It is a very important part of being you, to understand that you have a role to play. You are not worthless. You are light incarnate. You are one of the whole. You are a facet on this incredibly beautiful diamond of life. So, with your true path, understanding that self-importance needs to go to the wayside, because self-importance simply tells us that the ego is in control. This is something for you to understand, something for you to do. It's an assignment to realize that humility will take you much, much further. In humility, we gain strength, strength of knowledge, strength of understanding, strength of clarity, which is a really nice thing to have when we're on this planet and trying to know what to do and when to do it. Humility makes a difference. So this is your assignment, of course, to play in the cosmos with pure and unadulterated humility, with happiness. We learn humility. You may, you know, as someone that only you can be, you have a role to play, right? You have a role. You may be able to give joy to someone else. You may be able to serve someone else. You may be able to make someone smile when they may be very involved in the sadness of life in the moment. You have a role to play. You may ease the suffering of another. And you must play that role, the role of being you. Great or small, it doesn't matter if it's one person or 10,000. Ego wants fame. Humility doesn't care. Famous, infamous, the ability to help someone to relieve their suffering is a role that each of us can play. That's another assignment, to ease the suffering. That, in my humble opinion, is our role. But we do that by maintaining our own humility, happiness, and strength. That is how we do it. By offering and being. You know, it's so easy, right? It's so easy to be humble when you're alone. But being around others shows you many things, doesn't it? One of which is the ego. It shows you your ego, but it also gives you the ability to serve. To serve in a moment when you're needed. You and only you can fulfill that role. And through humility, with humility, we have no judgment. We have no self-judgment at all. It's only when we are egotistical, when we hold the ego in high esteem, that we judge ourselves, we judge others, we berate ourselves, we think poorly of ourselves. This is the ego. So with humility, there is no self-importance. You know that you have a role to play, great or small, because you're not judging yourself. You're embracing humility. You know, if you want to be if you want to know more about being humble or knowing humility, be around those who are. Be around people with a great sense of humility and strength, because in humility there is strength. Knowing that you are a part of the whole gives you strength. Knowing that you are a part of all of existence gives you strength. Knowing that you are no more important than anyone else, than anything else. No self-importance. Through humility and strength, we are able to activate truth toward yourselves. Through connection, through serving others as you inspire them. It's a wonderful thing. Through your work, your daily work of being you, whether it's in the office, whether it's in the hospital, whether it's in the therapist's room, whether it's at play on the ocean, whether it's at play in the mountains, you can serve others because no one can be you. Only you can be you. And in so doing, in maintaining your happiness through all that's going on in our world, through all that we have to live and go through in our world, life, death, sickness, sadness, anxiety, frustration, high, low, all of it, knowing through all of that, through your own humility with strength, you know that you are connected. That only you can be you and that you have a role to play. And that you can truly enrich the lives of others. Maybe one at a time, maybe 10,000 at a time. In the Bible, there's a verse that says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." The meek are humble. In modern day, meek would be the egoless, the awakened to their true essential nature. This is humility, this is meek. And recognize the essence in all others. This is what the meek are able to do. Through their humility and strength, they're able to recognize the essence, the beauty, the love, the joy, the light in others. And they're able to also recognize that this essence, through this essence in all others, in all life forms, that they are connected to these other beings. We're not separate. We are, even when you see the horrific, the atrocities that humans are able to inflict on each other, they are a part of us. They are an aspect of our beings. And so if we maintain our own humility and our own strength and our own joy and happiness and peace, that we can also affect those beings. Our light, by simply being, can affect others. All life forms. The meek live in a surrendered state with the whole, with source. In modern day terms, the meek hold strength with humility in knowing that they are connected. In the Tao Te Ching, it says, the master allows things to happen. She shapes events as they come. She steps out of the way and lets the Tao, truth, speak for itself. Learn that you are perfectly imperfect, that you are perfection incarnate. You are imperfect perfection incarnate. One with the whole, one with existence, one with the light of eternity. As you hold humility within, as you hold your strength within your humility, knowing that you have a part to play, knowing that serving others increases your strength and your humility. For those of you who may be new to the practice of meditation, we learn to meditate knowing that through our practice, we gain more and more strength, more and more power. But power without wisdom, power without humility means nothing. You can look on any channel, any live channel on your television set, and you will see lots and lots of power without wisdom, without humility, certainly. Narcissism reigns in a grand way on any channel that you might turn on for live television. Ego is very obvious. And so, to do our part, we maintain our own strength, power, and humility with wisdom, so that we know when to move, when not to move. We know when to go, when to stop. And we do this by learning to silence the ego mind, by learning to silence our thinking, our thoughts. We silence these thoughts in the mind so that we can hear, we can listen to the musings of eternity through learning to meditate perfectly. Every day when we wake up, it's best to start your day with meditation so that it takes you throughout the day. You clear the thinking, you clear the dreams that you may have had in the night. So we wake up, we take a shower at the very least, wash our hands and face, and sit for 15 minutes to start. If you're learning how to meditate, 15 minutes, or if you haven't meditated in years, maybe once upon a time you meditated and you haven't in a long time, start with 15 minutes again. Be a beginner again. It's a beautiful way to live life. Be a constant beginner. So we sit 15 minutes. Our back is straight, tummy is empty, you're wide awake. You don't want to fall asleep in your meditation. It's the happiest, brightest time of your day. You don't want to miss it. And so we sit focusing on a chakra, focusing on the music that we're going to play for you. Our music is infused with enlightened energy to help you. This is what it's for, to help you to meditate more easily, more deeply, by blocking out the billions of thoughts, by blocking out the energies from the billions on the planet. It just makes it a little easier when you focus on the music. If you want to get really high and have a really good time, focus on the music. So we can focus on a chakra, the music, maybe a visualization that I give, or a visualization that you know that you can focus on in your own mind. Thoughts will come and go. It's okay. Just allow them to come and go. Don't focus on one of those. You want to focus on the highest, happiest point of focus that you can. The chakras, our energy centers, are wonderful places to focus because this is where strength is gained, right? We have our 7 or 8 primary chakras for grounding, for creativity, for strength and power, for love, for truth, for intuition, psychic ability, and for connection to eternity, the crown center. You can focus on any one of those, or maybe a few. It's up to you. It's okay. Whatever you would like to focus on as far as the chakras go. You know, once in a while we can feel certain things within ourselves, like maybe we couldn't speak our truth. That would be the throat chakra. This is where we speak the truth that we hold within us. And you find at times that you're just stuck. You can't speak it. You can't allow others to know the truth that you hold within. And so you might focus here, right? This would be a robin's egg blue. It would be signified by a robin's egg blue, a very light and lovely blue. You might focus there for you during your meditation. Maybe you're feeling like you're not you're not able to see which way to go in any moment. You have a decision to make. Focus on your third eye. I would actually focus on a few. I would focus on the navel center, which is where your power sits. I would focus then on the heart center, which is where love sits, where everything is purified, and then focus on your third eye. So bring the energy up very quickly and then bring it down. Don't allow it to keep going, bring it down. And so in focusing on your power center, your heart center, and your third eye, you're then able to purify the energy, the power that you hold within, to be able to activate your psychic center, where your intuition sits. Okay. So these energy centers are places within your subtle physical body that empower you, that strengthen you. And with humility, with the ego aside, you're able to stop thought and focus very clearly on any one of these primary chakras, or several of them at a time, a few of them at a time. So we sit for 15 minutes. As I said, tummy empty, wide awake, back straight as is comfortable for you. The reason that we sit with our backs straight is that we are generating energy. We are generating Kundalini energy from the subtle physical body, which translates into our physical bodies being healthier, stronger, and hopefully with more humility. We're able to do this. At the end of our meditation, we bow. Forehead to the ground. And we offer up our meditation to eternity, to the cosmos, to all of infinity. We offer up our meditation in gratitude. It's a lovely, lovely way to start your day. Also, I would recommend doing it at night. If you can. Sometimes we're very tired, so 15 minutes is great, but do 5 to clear out the energy of the day, to let it go, so that you can have a restful night's sleep. All right, so I'm going to take myself off camera before we begin to relax the body. We'll relax the body and then go into a state of meditation with music, okay? Take a deep cleansing breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and hold for the count of 3 at the top. Focus your attention on your eyes, the muscles around your eyes, and relax the muscles around your eyes. As you do, your facial muscles, your jaw muscles will also begin to relax. Relax, relax, relax. If you have any tension whatsoever in your scalp, relax your scalp. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your chest, your throat. Relax your upper arms, your lower arms. Relax your hands and your fingers. Relax, relax, relax. Relax your back on either side of your spinal column. Relax your abdomen. Release all of the muscles in your abdomen. Relax your hips. Relax your upper legs, your lower legs. Relax your feet and your toes. Your hands are resting very comfortably in your lap. As you begin to visualize a beautiful rose in the center of your chest, it is not necessary when doing this exercise to see a clear picture of the rose. Simply do your best to imagine a soft reddish rose in the center of your chest. When other thoughts and images pass through your mind while you're performing this exercise, simply ignore them. Let them go. Imagine that the rose is completely folded up. None of its petals have yet unfolded. Now, as you focus your attention on the reddish rose in the center of your chest, visualize that the first set of petals, the outer row of petals, is gradually unfolding. As they do so, imagine them growing and expanding and filling the entire area of your chest. Simultaneously feel that a wave of peace and joy is spreading throughout your entire chest area. Then visualize that a second set of rose petals is unfolding. Imagine them slowly and gently unfolding and expanding, this time filling the entire area of your body. Imagine another wave of peace and joy, even deeper than the first, starting in the center of your chest, in the center of the rose, and expanding outward, filling your entire body with peace and joy. Now, visualize a third set of petals. Again, starting in the center of the rose, and imagine them expanding outward, filling up the entire room, spreading peace and joy everywhere throughout the room or area in which you're meditating. Then, visualize a fourth set of petals opening up, this time expanding and filling the entire earth. Feel that peace and joy are spreading from the center of your chest, from the center of the rose, throughout all of the earth, and filling all of the people and all of the beings and all of the objects on this earth with peace and joy. Now, visualize another set of petals opening up, this time filling the entire solar system with peace and bliss. Simultaneously feel that you are spreading your own inner peace, of which you have an infinite supply, throughout the entire solar system. Finally, visualize that a sixth row of petals is opening up, this time filling up the entire universe, spreading peace and joy throughout the universe and on into the infinite. as you practice this exercise, continue to visualize additional petals of the rose unfolding. As each set of petals unfolds and spreads out into the infinite, feel that they are reaching farther and farther out and spreading a deeper peace and joy throughout your whole being and throughout all of existence. There is no end to the petals of the inner rose. Continue to unfold set after set of petals in our meditation today until we have completed our meditation session. Now, let's meditate. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here today, for being with us to learn more about strength and humility and the wisdom and the knowledge that it takes to be able to have a good time on this planet. That's what this is all about, isn't it? So thank you so much for being here, and I will look forward to being with you again next week, to be sure. So for now, namaste. The light in me sees, honors, and so loves the light in you. I'll look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you.